YouTube, what it do? It's your boy TWV checking in for another Monday Night Raw recap and review. Tonight we had three banger segments. We had the CM Punk Logan Paul face off. We had the Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins segment with Seth Rollins asking Cody what is he gonna do and is he gonna sell his soul. And we had a all-timer women's tag team match, possibly one of the best women's tag team matches in the Triple H regime in WWE and in a long time just outside of that. And also we have new tag champs. I'm not going to spoil that for you. We'll get back to that at the end of the show with the review. Kick off Monday Night Raw. Logan Paul had a segment, and as expected, he wasted no time trash talking to the crowd. Standing in the ring, he called Cincinnati dreary and depressing and straight up referred to the fans as peasants. Logan didn't stop there. He went after the city sports scene, saying Cincinnati is where talent goes to die, even name dropping Joe Burrow as an example. He reminded everyone that the last time he was in the ring on Raw, he defeated Rey Mysterio, a Hall of Famer, securing his spot in the Elimination Chamber. His goal is to walk into the chamber, beat three doorknobs and John Cena, and then goes on to face Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania and become the undisputed champion and the face of the company. But before Paul could finish his promo, Punk came out and the crowd erupted. Paul, not backing down, immediately asked Punk what his problem was and was he jealous of Logan's success. Logan bragged about the success that he makes outside of the ring, while Punk's career has been nothing but him failing upwards. He straight up asked if Punk doesn't like him. Punk, calm and collected, said that he has no personal problem with Logan. He doesn't even know him that well. For Punk, this is just business, but then he hit Logan where it hurt, calling him a loudmouth kid who always does and says stupid and ignorant things just to get a reaction. Punk says Logan thinks he's a generational talent, but with no character, no substance, and the fans, they deserve better. Paul fired back saying Punk had the WWE's biggest return of all time, only to crack under pressure and tear his tricep in his return to the ring. According to Logan, Punk simply couldn't handle the spotlight. Then came the comparisons. Paul said Punk was just a familiar name, just like Stone Cold and John Cena, but Logan, he's here now full time, and soon fans will be chanting his name. Punk actually agreed. Names do change, but Austin, Cena, and Punk, those names are legends. Under the pressure that Logan says Punk cracks under, Punk says he makes history. Punk wasn't convinced. He claimed Paul never made history and was just a flash in the pan. Punk said Logan wouldn't be here long enough for anyone to even remember him. Then came the warning. At Elimination Chamber, Punk vowed to eliminate Logan, calling it a receipt for Logan dumping him out at the Royal Rumble. His eyes locked on WrestleMania, where he plans to take the world title and make history while Logan is forgotten. And as far as Cody Rhodes, Punk doesn't care if Cody thinks he has to sell his soul to beat him because Cody already knows that Punk is Satan himself. With tension at his peak, Punk delivered the ultimate insult, telling Logan that in this business, he's a nobody. And with Logan Paul responding, slapping Punk in the face and making a quick exit out of the ring, leaving the crowd in shock. So this promo was a verbal joust. Logan Paul stepping up to the plate definitely had some good moments in there, but CM Punk is literally untouchable when it comes to the microphone. Like, he cooked Dwayne The Rock Johnson, if you want to go take a trip back down memory lane back in, I want to say 2012, 2013, and told him his arms was too short to box with God. And one of the best CM Punk promos of all time is definitely up there. Punk, anytime Punk touches the mic, it's magic. But Logan Paul definitely held his own. I don't see him winning Chamber at all. I do see him and Punk having a confrontation because of the Royal Rumble. I see Punk eliminating Paul, and that kind of ends it there. I do see Punk getting an elimination. I think he eliminates Priest. That's the only person I really think he can eliminate, unless Drew eliminates Priest and then they go off to their WrestleMania match. It's a lot of different various scenarios in the Elimination Chamber, but not to get long-winded, but I thought the segment was beautiful overall. Logan Paul definitely held his own. Logan Paul is in that main event tier. I don't think he'll ever win a belt unless it's for shock value, and then they'll probably get it off of him by the next pay-per-view, just to say he won one type of thing. But Punk is definitely my dark horse for this outside of John Cena. I feel like Punk loses and uses the Paul Heyman favor to get into the match and make it a triple threat. So not everybody's forgetting it, but that just seems to kind of go past people's mind. Like, okay, if Punk wins, what's the favorite then? Punk has to lose for the favor to kick in. But yeah, I'm not gonna keep going on a tangent. But overall, like I said, great segment. Let's continue to the next one. The ring action of the night was a triple threat match between Ludwig Kaiser versus Pete Dunne versus Penta. From the onset, the match was a fast-paced encounter with all three competitors engaging in a series of rapid exchanges and counters. Penta's high-flying maneuvers, Dunne's technical prowess, and Kaiser's strategic offense were on full display, creating a dynamic and unpredictable bout. Some of the key moments of the match, in my opinion, were Penta's aerial assault. Penta electrified the audience with his high-risk moves, including a moveset where he used Kaiser's back as a springboard to deliver a Mexican destroyer to Dunne, eliciting a massive reaction from the crowd. We also had to talk about Pete Dunne's technical mastery. Dunne showcased his signature joint manipulation techniques, targeting his opponent's limbs to gain an advantage. At one point, he executed the bitter end on Penta, but the pinfall was interrupted by Kaiser. And let's not forget Kaiser's opportunistic strategy. Kaiser demonstrated his wing awareness by capitalizing on the chaos. In the closing moments after Dunne's offense on Penta, Kaiser seized the opportunity to deliver a devastating inverse DDT to Dunne, securing the pinfall victory. Post-match, following the victory, Ludwig Kaiser spoke with Kathy Kelly, expressing his determination and addressing his critics. He emphasized that his win was not a matter of stealing, but a result of hard work and resilience, declaring 2025 is going to be the year of Ludwig Kaiser. So the match was a banger. It was maybe like a 10-minute marathon. Like I said, from the onset, it was fast-paced. They were diving out of the ring. They were breaking fingers. Kaiser was sneaking in, breaking up pins, and it was a fun match. It was a fun match. It was a great TV match. Like, I definitely, if I was going to rate it, I'm gonna give it about a 4. I'm gonna give it a 4. It was really good. It was really good. And nothing has hit the 5-star level yet so far on my YouTube journey, but I know we'll get to a 5-star weekly match at some point. I wouldn't be surprised. Like, these are the ultimate professionals. Sooner or later, somebody's gonna pull a banger out, and I'm just gonna be like, holy shit. Let's tell the world about it. But definitely a great match. Definitely excited to see where Kaiser goes from here. Penta's going to be Penta. He's still on a tear. The only downside is I hate that Pete Dunne's the whipping boy. Pete Dunne was a demon when he was in NXT and in NXT UK. Like, I don't like that the role Pete Dunne is in. I really feel like he should get a push. He's not going to get out of the mid card, but build him up. Like, I just want as many people built up in the mid card so people can jump up and challenge for a world title. Obviously, they may not win, but just to put them in that category, like, okay, we can have you down here, but then we can put you up here and elevate you at the same time when we run out of main eventers to have feud with each other. Because after a while, you don't want all the main eventers feuding with each other over and over again. You got to bring new, fresh bodies up there. So definitely want a lot of the mid-card guys to get a shot, get a chance, moment in the sun. But overall, beautiful match. 4 out of 5 stars for me. It was definitely enjoyable. Definitely something, if I did want to tell people about wrestling, I would recommend, like, hey, look at this triple threat. It is on the up there in the tier of triple threats for me. My favorite triple threat of all time would be the WrestleMania 39 triple threat match with Sheamus, Gunther, and Drew McIntyre. That was easily one of the best triple threat matches of all time that I've seen in my wrestling fandom. But let me not go on a tangent. Let me wrap up this one, and we'll get back to the next one. The segment was Rhea Ripley having a promo / interview with Jackie Redmond. Positioned on the platform amidst the audience, Rhea Ripley came out, who received a warm reception from the Cincinnati crowd. Jackie Redmond began by highlighting the significance of Rhea's impending match against Io Sky, noting that the outcome can influence the dynamics of the Women's Elimination Chamber match scheduled for the upcoming weekend. Ripley addressed the challenges ahead, acknowledging that she never secured a victory over Sky in their previous encounters. However, she emphasized the evolution of her career over the past 5 years, stating that she has transformed into the most dominant woman in WWE. Ripley confidently listed her triumphs over top competitors such as Becky Lynch, Charlotte Flair, Liv Morgan, expressing her determination to add Io Sky to that list. As Ripley concluded her remarks, Io Sky made a surprise appearance, confronting the champion directly. Speaking initially in Japanese, Sky then declared in English that she intends to defeat Ripley in their upcoming match and proceed to WrestleMania as the Women's World Champion. This segment concluded with a tense face-off between both athletes, intensifying the anticipation for their forthcoming showdown. So, with this match, I thought Io should have won the Royal Rumble and faced Rhea at WrestleMania. But with what happened later on in the night, when I get back to it, I see that it is a totally different direction they may be going. So I'm just going to give my guess of who wins the Elimination Chamber right now because you already know who's in there. I think Bianca Belair wins because I don't see Liv winning because they just had a feud. Naomi's the person that attacked Jade Cargill. We just need to wrap that up and start their feud. Bayley's going to go into a thing with Roxanne Perez. Roxanne Perez is going to go to a thing with Bayley. So that's pretty much everybody. And then you have, I'm forgetting somebody. Alexa Bliss. That's what I forgot. Alexa Bliss just got back. I don't think she gets catapulted into a main event feud. I think they finally pulled a trigger on Rhea versus Bianca. This is something that's been brewing for years since the NXT days. They were kept away from each other. They were both kind of catapulted to the top of the card. They were both simultaneously women's champions of their respective brands at one point. Finally, we're getting that moment where they clash with each other. Long time ago, I said this could be the female version of Cena and Batista. If you know, you know. Cena and Batista went on a mean run back in the early 2000s, late 2000, 2005 to like 2010, where they were always battling each other for that number one spot in the company. Great matches, great promos, great all around everything. So I can definitely see them doing that. This would be like their first face-off. Then they hold it off again. You know, we may circle back around. Survivor Series, maybe Royal Rumble next year, you know, however the cookie crumbles. I don't know what's going to go on past April, but this is just me fantasy booking, speculating for the future. But yeah, definitely can't wait to see those two in the ring because they're both like two freak athletes and they're great in-ring competitors. They're going to push each other to just get the best out of each other. Bianca's main evented WrestleMania before against Sasha Banks back in the day. Rhea Ripley has not. So I think this will be Rhea Ripley's first WrestleMania main event. She opened the show against Becky Lynch last year. But definitely great action all around. Two great wrestlers, two great women wrestlers. Not even scratch women, two great wrestlers. They're definitely, if I was going to go top 10, 15 wrestlers of just WWE, they're definitely in there for sure. But let me not get on another tangent. I do like to talk and speculate and, you know, hypothesize about the future. But let's wrap this up and get to the next one. Next in-ring action was the New Day versus LWO. The opening sequence of the match was high energy as Joaquin Wilde delivered a series of clotheslines to Kingston, followed by a super kick to Woods. Wilde's momentum continued with a DDT on Kingston and another on Woods, showcasing his agility and aggressive tone. The mid-match dynamics, Del Toro tagged in and the LWO executed somersault sentons onto the New Day, eliciting a strong reaction from the crowd. However, the New Day regained control through strategic teamwork. Woods distracted the referee, allowing Kingston to rake Del Toro's eyes and drive him into Wilde, disrupting the LWO's coordination. In the closing moments of the match, capitalizing on the disarray, the New Day hit their signature combination, a backbreaker followed by a top rope double foot stomp on Del Toro, securing the pinfall victory. Post-match, the New Day continued to assault Wilde and Del Toro. This prompted Dragon Lee to rush to the ring in an attempt to defend his teammates. Despite his efforts, the numbers of disadvantage proved too great. Kingston distracted Lee, allowing Woods to deliver a big boot. The New Day then executed a double powerbomb on Lee, leaving the LWO members incapacitated and asserting their dominance. So, with this, the New Day should have had a better group to feud with first, kicking off their heel run. Lo and behold, they should have just got shot right to the top, put the belts on them, and then we take it from there. But, like I say in every video between SmackDown and Raw, the tag division sucks. So, you have American Alpha feuding with the War Raiders. That's two teams. Now you have LWO and New Day. That's your other two teams. You don't have any other teams on your tag division unless you want to have Otis and Tozawa be a tag team, and that's cool, but that's the comedy act of the show. So it's like, we ain't nobody gonna believe Otis and Tozawa gonna win the tag belts. So it's like you only have 4 teams in your tag division, and they're both in feuds. So this New Day LWO thing is gonna go on at least till WrestleMania, and that's annoying as shit because we need to call somebody up from NXT, get some fresh young legs and warm this tag division up. Like I said in the previous video, merge the belts together. I'm not a fan of merging the belts together, but with only having 10 tag teams at max, you only need one set of belts and just make everybody challengers. Just revolving door that thing, because when you split them between 2 brands and one team is the champs, and you have only four other teams to compete with, it gets stale. Like you can only do so much, and I'm not really a fan of how it's getting booked so far. But definitely, like I said, I'm really pushing for NXT talent because NXT has some of the best talent. So if you're new here watching one of my videos, I'm a big fan of NXT. I've always said NXT was the best brand between WWE, SmackDown, and Raw. Now WWE is kind of pushing it as the third brand, like they're removing like the NXT logo from like live events and stuff like that. It's just WWE, whatever they want to call the NXT episode that day. So why not just commingle them all together? To just mix them up, man. Stir it in the pot and see what we get. Like Shawn Michaels' pin is down there cooking. Triple H pin is cooking on Raw. I don't know about the pin on SmackDown. We'll talk about that another day. But the tag division is my biggest gripe with WWE right now. I love the women's divisions. You know what I'm saying? The women's division could get a little shaky between the main roster, but NXT on fire. But same reaction. Put some of those NXT superstars in between both divisions. We'll warm up in an instant, and it'll be lit. So we got some work to do just with some small minor things. I'm pretty optimistic of everything overall in WWE. But yeah, I'm not going to go into a tangent too much more. Let's get to the next segment. The next segment was the Judgment Day backstage confrontation. Finn Balor initiated the conversation by expressing his frustration over the recent setbacks, specifically pointing to Dominic Mysterio's loss to AJ Styles and the subsequent spear from Braun Breaker. Balor described the previous week as the most embarrassing day in the history of the Judgment Day, attributing the mishaps to Mysterio's actions. In response, Mysterio defended himself by highlighting Balor's own failure in securing a spot at the Elimination Chamber, suggesting that the group consider adding a new member to strengthen their ranks. This proposal was met with resistance by Balor, who asserted his leadership and dismissed the idea. The tension escalated as Liv Morgan and Raquel entered the scene, shifting the focus to their upcoming WWE Women's Tag Team Championship match against Bianca Belair and Naomi. Morgan emphasized their commitment to bringing the gold to the Judgment Day, aiming to unify the group through success. However, Balor deflected the optimism by blaming Morgan and Rodriguez for the additional challenges they face, referencing a previous incident involving Jade Cargill. Despite the discord, Morgan remained resolute, expressing confidence in the ability to capture the titles. So with this segment, Aleister Black left AEW. I think he ends up being the new member. I think they kick Finn Balor out. I don't know how long Judgment Day is going to go on. I feel like Dom should be the leader. Put Dom in that spotlight, give him the push, see where he can go. He is the guy low key in WWE. Like I said this in a previous video, whenever somebody comes back from being injured or comes back to the company, their first match is Dirty Dom because he's just a great worker. He can give you the offense, and he can take an ass whooping, and he can take an L, and he doesn't. It's crazy. Like he's such a heat magnet. Even though he loses, the crowd still hates him. Like so, it's just like, why don't we prop him up and see where he can go in the opposite direction instead of losing all the time? Let's see if let's not turn him face, but let's see where the crowd goes, and then we go off of where the crowd goes. But definitely seeing that the Judgment Day is going to break up at WrestleMania or regroup, rebrand, redevelop, whatever you want to call it. All I know is Finn's out of there. So we shall see how this plays out. Next segment and match of the show was with Gunther. Gunther addressed the WWE Universe, expressing disdain for Akira Tozawa's recent antics with Alpha Academy on social media. He criticized Tozawa for prioritizing entertainment over wrestling excellence, contrasting it with his own commitment to discipline and respect for the sport. Gunther warned that Tozawa's decision to face him will have severe consequences, emphasizing his intent to teach Tozawa a lesson in respect. During the match commenced with Tozawa attempting to leverage his speed and agility against Gunther's imposing strength. Despite Tozawa's spirited offense, including enziguris and dropkicks, Gunther maintained control with powerful strikes and technical holds. A notable moment saw Gunther counter a missile dropkick into a Boston Crab, showcasing his technical prowess. Tozawa's resilience was evident as he reached the ropes to break the hold, but Gunther's relentless assault continued. The match concluded with Gunther executing a power bomb, followed by a sleeper hold that rendered Tozawa unconscious, securing the victory. Post-match, he went back to choke Tozawa out. Otis slid into the ring. He kind of got out the way. Him and Otis had a little stare down. Once Otis' back was turned, he went and choked Otis out. Jey Uso's music hit, ran down to the ring. By the time he slid in the ring, Gunther was out the ring. So pretty much just having him interact with each other on their build to WrestleMania. It's cool. I do want to see where your life is gonna be a living hell from Gunther thing is gonna kick back in. I just need to see Gunther go all in. Like, if you know you losing the belt, man, let's just amp it up, man. Let me beat the shit out of Jay every week until WrestleMania, and then give him his moment. That's how I feel. Like I said, I don't book these shows. I just want to see Jay get beat up until he wins. Like, we all know he's gonna win, but let's just make it compelling. Like, just make him the ultimate underdog. Like, beat him into submission where it's like, man, I don't know if Jay gonna make it to WrestleMania. If he makes it to WrestleMania, I don't know if he's gonna win. Like, just do that or something. Like, right now is cool. I just need a little bit more from them. But yeah, let's get to the next segment. Next in-ring action was the Women's Intercontinental Championship match with Dakota Kai facing off against champion Lyra Valkyria. The bout commenced with a display of mutual respect as Valkyria and Kai engaged in a series of chain wrestling sequences, each attempting to gain the upper hand. Kai utilized her agility and striking ability to keep the champion off balance, delivering precise kicks and quick maneuvers. Valkyria, known for her resilience and adaptability, countered with powerful suplexes and submission holds, aiming to wear down her challenger. As the match progressed, the intensity escalated. Kai executed her signature corner kick, nearly securing a 3 count, but Valkyria showcased her tenacity by kicking out just in time. In the climax of the match, Valkyria capitalized on a missed opportunity by Kai, delivering a devastating finisher to retain her title via pinfall. Post-match, the two competitors shared a respectful handshake, acknowledging each other's efforts. In the post-match, the celebration was abruptly interrupted by Ivy Now, who launched a surprise attack on Dakota Kai as she exited from the ring. Now then turned her attention to the reigning champion, delivering a German suplex followed by a powerful slam. Standing tall over Valkyria, Now hoisted the Women's Intercontinental Championship belt, signaling her intentions for the title. So this match is great. Beautiful. 3.5, 4. I'm a little biased. I'm a Dakota Kai fan. I just wish that she wasn't injured all the time, but when she's in there, she gives you good grabs. So I'm gonna grade it on a curve. The post-match beatdown, I thoroughly enjoyed that. Ivy Now was a demon in NXT. Like, I'm gonna keep bringing up NXT. I'm an NXT junkie. Like, I watch all of these wrestlers in the last 5-6 years that are on the main roster now go through NXT and build themselves up to the main roster. And now with them having women's mid-card championships, you get to showcase these women in that light. And these can be used as building blocks to make more main event superstars. I don't think Ivy Now, this is me right now, I don't think Ivy Now will break into the main event threshold, but boy, will she run through that intercontinental mid-card, like putting on bangers. Like, it's so many people you could throw in there. You could throw in Zoe Stark. You could throw in Shayna Baszler. You could throw in, who else I'm forgetting in the mid-card over there? You could throw in B-Fab from SmackDown. You could throw in B-Chin from SmackDown. You could throw in, man, NXT people. We could throw in Jordan Grace. Let's get crazy. You know what I'm saying? Just call Jordan Grace up out the cut. Just let's get crazy with it. You know what I'm saying? But hey, the women's division is so deep, and with them having women's mid-card championships now, you can elevate so much talent. I do like that Valkyria retained. I do hate that Dakota Kai took the L twice. In the inaugural match and in her rematch. I do see Ivy Now shockingly winning, but I don't see it at the same time. I do see the belt getting changed at WrestleMania. I feel like they're going to do a 3-way. Ivy Now, Dakota Kai, Lyra Valkyria for WrestleMania. I don't think in this next month span anybody else jumps up into the match. So that's my thoughts. It was really good. Post-match was really good as well. You know, building on storylines, building up new characters to challenge for the belt. So I'm a fan of it. Segment was Sami Zayn participating in a backstage interview with Jackie Redmond, providing insight into his escalating rivalry with Kevin Owens. Some of the highlights in the interview was he visited Kevin Owens' home. Zayn revealed that he visited Owens' homes where he encountered Owens' mother, who was in good health and spirits. This encounter left Zayn feeling ashamed as he questions his own intentions during the visit. Sami Zayn also acknowledged the escalation. Reflecting on their history, Zayn noted that involving family members marked as a significant escalation in their feud. He expressed uncertainty about both his and Kevin Owens' current mindset, suggesting that neither man recognized themselves in this new phase of their rivalry. Also, Zayn spoke about his preparation for the unsanctioned match At Elimination Chamber, Zayn acknowledges WWE's decision not to sanction the bout, possibly due to concerns about his neck injury. Despite this, he emphasized his readiness for a brutal confrontation, warning Owens that it would be a bad time for him. So overall, Sami Zayn, one of the best babyface promos in the business. I don't care if you like him, if you hate him. When he touches that mic, you just get behind him and root for him in that moment. He just makes you feel it right in your heart. Like, man, I want this guy to win. I want to root for this guy. Like the ultimate underdog. Like, and when he steps inside those ropes and that bell rings, oh boy, he can teach you a master class of wrestling. If you just want to look at one of Sami Zayn's best matches, go watch the Intercontinental Championship match between him and Gunther at WrestleMania 40. Mwah. Chef's kiss of professional wrestling. If there was a match that I could go tell somebody like, this is what got me into professional wrestling, we're going to put an asterisk on this because this wasn't the match that got me into wrestling, of course. We'll speak about that match another day. Shout out to the GOAT, Shawn Michaels. Shout out to Razor Ramon. We're going to get back to that in another video. I'm thinking about that. But Sami Zayn is such a great professional wrestler. So I know him and Kevin Owens are going to put on a banger on Saturday. When I tell you this is the match of the night without me even seeing anything else, I know it's going to be the match of the night. I know they're going to go all out in their home country of Canada, and they're going to go through the roof with it. It's going to be some insane moments. When we had that Elimination Chamber review video for Sunday, I may talk about this for 10 minutes flat. Because just the wrestling pageantry that will be on display, the technical prowess that's gonna be on display, the oh my god moments that'll be on display, because they're gonna go all out. They're just wrestling soulmates. I said this before in a previous video, and it's gonna be on full display Saturday. I'm not gonna get into a tangent. I'm gonna get into a tangent on Saturday, so be prepared if you watch the video on Saturday. But man, Sami Zayn, what a guy, what a guy. Let's get to the next segment. The next in-ring action of the night was Dirty Dom versus Braun Breaker. Some of the match highlights: early dominance by Braun Breaker. The match commenced with Braun Breaker asserting his power, shoving Mysterio down after Mysterio attempted to flex his muscles. Breaker then executed a swift clothesline, sending Mysterio to the outside. He followed up by tossing Mysterio back into the ring and applying a side headlock. Mysterio managed to escape, but Breaker's speed and strength were evident as he turned Mysterio inside out with the clothesline. Interference from the Judgment Day. As Mysterio struggled, his faction members Finn Balor and Carlito intervened by pulling him out of the ring to aid his recovery. This interference allowed Mysterio to regroup and strategize his next moves. Mysterio's offense. Regaining his composure, Mysterio executed a dropkick that sent Breaker into the ropes, followed by his signature 619 maneuver. He ascended the top turnbuckle, signaling for a high-flying attack. However, Breaker countered, and the two engaged in a back-and-forth exchange of strikes. Mysterio attempted to shove Breaker, but Breaker responded with a powerful press slam. Continued interference by the Judgment Day, with Carlito distracting Braun Breaker, allowing Mysterio to land a suicide dive. Back in the ring, Mysterio delivered a slingshot senton, but Breaker kicked out at one. Mysterio argued with the ref, attempting to gain a psychological advantage. Braun Breaker's resilience. Breaker showcased his resilience by countering Mysterio's attacks. He blocked a punch and executed a belly-to-belly superplex, sending Mysterio crashing to the mat. The Judgment Day continued their interference, pulling Breaker out of the ring and driving him into the steel steps. With the match conclusion, the ongoing interference from the Judgment Day led to a no contest finish as the referee was unable to maintain control over the match. In the post-match, he was getting beat up by the Judgment Day at first, and then Braun Breaker threw Dominic Mysterio over the ropes. Then he turned around to beat up Carlito. Not beat up Carlito, he speared Carlito. And as soon as he speared Carlito, he turned around. Finn Balor was sliding into the ring with a chair, and Braun Breaker stared Finn Balor down like, yeah, you don't want this smoke. And Finn Balor eased his way out of the ring. But they had an intense stare down while Finn was standing outside. So that could lead to Finn versus Braun Breaker. That would be something I'm interested in. I don't think it'll be a WrestleMania match. I feel like it'll be on Raw in the next week or two. But definitely some good graps. Finn Balor, he's a mid-carder. Unfortunately, he should be a main eventer. He's in the Dolph Ziggler role now. If you know about Dolph Ziggler was a main eventer. He had too many concussions and he fell to the mid-card, and then he became the guy that basically you put him in the main event feud, but you know he's not going to win. So that's what Finn Balor's been. Finn Balor tore his tricep when he became the inaugural WWE World Heavyweight Champion when they had the big red belt. And ever since then, he never got back to the top. He's been in matches for titles, never won them though. So I think he's just a mid carder now. Unfortunately, Finn Balor is an extremely great professional wrestler. Like, it's so many matches I can think of just with Finn Balor just going ham. Like, I can go to WrestleMania 39 with him and Edge in the Hell in a Cell. Like, he had to get 16 staples after that match, like bleeding all in the ring. But Finn Balor is the ultimate professional, a great wrestler. Really wish he got some more shine in that main event tier someday before his career is over. Hopefully he does get one more title run. He deserves it. But let me not get on a tangent. But this is a solid match, 3.5. Really a 3. I'm gonna take 0.5. I did not like that the match ended in a no contest. I would have liked Dom to get speared, and then we could have had the post-match interference and all that. But, hey, it is what it is. It's just another episode of Monday Night Raw. And on to the next segment. The next segment was Ivy Now and the Creed brothers in a backstage brawl with the Royal Raiders. The Creed brothers were backstage celebrating with Ivy Now. During this interaction, Kathy Kelly approached Now to inquire about her intentions regarding the title picture. Now expressed her ambition to reclaim championship gold, stating that the Creed brothers were targeting the World Tag Team titles in the upcoming week. She also mentioned her plan to confront Lyra Valkyria to secure a match for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. As the conversation continued, the War Raiders ambushed the Creed brothers from behind, initiating a brawl. Officials intervened to separate the two teams, highlighting their escalating tension between them. Following this altercation, it was announced that the Creed brothers would challenge the War Raiders for the World Tag Team Championships on the March 3rd episode of Raw. This match is said to be a pivotal moment in the ongoing rivalry between the two teams. This segment effectively advanced the storyline between Ivy Now and Lyra Valkyria and the Creed brothers and the War Raiders. Like I said, Ivy Now definitely could tear through that IC title division. The Creed brothers definitely are a great tag team. They were killing it in NXT before they got called up. Like I said, another NXT product. You gotta go watch NXT. I'm trying to tell you, if you're not tapped in on Tuesday nights, you missing out on future superstars. But yeah, man, Creed brothers are great. The War Raiders are great. Some true veterans of the industry can definitely prop the Creed brothers up. That would be a great look for the Creed brothers to beat them. The Creed brothers definitely deserving of winning the titles. I think they won the titles once before on the main roster, but it was like short lived. But yeah, they definitely deserve it. Definitely deserve it. They worked their asses off. Especially just being under the tutelage of Chad Gable. Like, Chad Gable is from the Kurt Angle tree of wrestling. Like, that guy can go in that ring. And yeah, man, I can't wait. I just can't wait for them to have their match next week. I hope it's a stipulation on it, because they done had 2 regular matches so far. Man, just make the Raw episode interesting, man. Make it like no disqualification or something, like, so we can just have, just power bombs through tables. You know what I'm saying? We using kendo sticks and steel chairs. Like, let's just mix it up on a Monday real quick and see how things go. But yes, indeed, I definitely like the segment. Definitely like the aftermath of the brawl, getting that match put up right away for right after Elimination Chamber to have something else to be interested in. So that overall, I don't really rank segments, but I get a segment of 4.5. It was really good. Really straight to the point. Storyline advancing. I'm a big storyline fan in wrestling. Like, of course I love the in-ring aspect as well, but the storyline and the storytelling is what really has me gravitated to it as much as I am in my age. The next segment was undisputed WWE champion Cody Rhodes addressing the offer he received from Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson on SmackDown. The Rock proposed that Rhodes sell his soul in exchange for everything he could ever dream of for himself and his family. As Rhodes discussed his proposition, Seth freaking Rollins interrupted, going on to speak about how this is his and Cody's first time being in the ring since WrestleMania 40, and how he would like this moment to be a celebratory moment and welcome Cody to his show Monday Night Rollins. He said he would like to look Cody in the eye and tell him how proud he is of him and congratulate him on a near year-long title reign. He also stated that he would like to look at the WrestleMania sign, shake Cody's hand, and tell him after he wins Elimination Chamber this Saturday, he cannot wait to face Cody in the main event of WrestleMania. Rollins said he would love to do that, but that is not why he is out here for. And Seth goes on to question Cody, "What the hell are you thinking?" cautioning Rhodes against making a decision he might regret, referencing their past at WrestleMania 40. Seth saying Cody not slapping Rock in the face on the spot is a slap to his face, with Seth saying do not make him regret everything he sacrificed to help Cody win the WWE Championship. Seth asks, has the WWE Championship start to weigh on Cody and has it become a burden for him? because it wouldn't be one for him. Cody wishes that the conversation was going different because it would be laced with gratitude, but says Seth sounds awfully judgmental. Cody states that The Rock asked for his soul instead of Seth's because he may be already compromised. Rhodes continues by highlighting Rollins' own controversial decisions, such as shaking Cody's hand before he had to go off to have surgery, but then hitting Cody with a sledgehammer when he turned his back, such as turning on the Shield, hitting Roman in the back with a chair, and aligning with Authority 10 to 12 years ago, which he suggests were partly responsible for his own departure from the WWE. Despite their differences, Rhodes acknowledges Rollins' pivotal role in the victory over Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 40, as Rollins was on one leg and a scramble back, crediting him as the MVP of that weekend. Rollins, in turn, expressed he is not out here to judge Cody, and he is possibly out here to protect Cody from the mistakes he made all those years ago. Rollins said those mistakes eat at you and it fills you with hate, and sometimes it's pointed at the right direction, like guys like Roman Reigns and CM Punk. Seth says that he doesn't want to hate Cody. Seth says at the end of the day, Cody's a grown man who makes his own decisions, and says that he's going to go onto Elimination Chamber and win it, and his desire is to face a champion with integrity, not one who has compromised his values and is a soulless version of himself. Seth said that he wants the Cody Rhodes that came back and beat him at WrestleMania 38. He wants the Cody Rhodes that took him to his limits and beat him with one arm in Hell in a Cell. Go watch that match. That is one of the greatest Hell in a Cell matches I've seen in my life. Says he wants to face Cody Rhodes. He says he wants to face the Cody Rhodes that he helped crown the WWE Championship with last year in the main event of WrestleMania. Seth concluded by saying he's not coming for Cody's soul, but he's coming for his title. This exchange set the stage for a potential showdown between the two at WrestleMania 41, adding depth to their ongoing rivalry. So this promo is beautiful. It's like 3.5 minutes, but it was a masterclass of promo, just depth and lore in history. Like with WrestleMania 38, Seth Rollins didn't have an opponent going into WrestleMania 38, and this is the same time Cody Rhodes' contract was up. So when Vince McMahon was running it, just like, okay, we're gonna have you have a mystery opponent. So Cody left AEW. It wasn't a murmur. Like everybody assumed he's going back to WWE, but it wasn't a murmur literally until he showed up at WrestleMania 38 when the screen went black and the song lyrics, the Kingdom said wrestling had more than one royal family. He came from underneath the arena, the prodigal son that returned, the son of a plumber. You know what I'm saying? All the things you can say about Dusty and Cody. Like, and that kicked off their feud right there. Then they had another rematch at WrestleMania Backlash. Then they had the final match at Hell in a Cell. But pre to that match, Cody Rhodes had tore his pec, and he went into the match with a torn pec. So like Rollins said, he literally wrestled him with one arm. Like, man, the match was insane. The match was insane. One of the best Hell in a Cell matches I've seen all time. It's definitely up there with the Undertaker and Mankind one for sure. Like, I don't think it's a one-on-one Hell in a Cell that can probably top Taker's, but this comes close. This comes close because Taker throwing Mankind off the top of the cell back in the 90s was insane. But this one is up there for sure. But it's just so much depth to it. Speaking about just Rollins' past of betrayal, when Rollins betrayed the Shield, and that to this day is still in the back of Roman Reigns' head. That's why Roman Reigns literally lost the belt last year at WrestleMania 40, because he had a decision to hit Cody Rhodes with the chair or hit Seth Rollins. And he was like, man, I'm getting my get back from all those years ago. Boom, hit Rollins with the chair. That allowed Cody to get up, regroup, win the belt. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, Seth Rollins is a pivotal part of WWE history just as much as Cody Rhodes is. And just this Rock asking for Cody Rhodes' soul allows so many different people to intertwine with this storyline and just kind of see where it goes. I mean, we're going to see where it goes Saturday for sure. But it's just beautiful. Beautiful. The main event of the night was the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship match with Liv Morgan and Raquel versus Naomi and Bianca Belair. Some of the match highlights. Early on in the match, Bianca Belair and Naomi initiated the match with aggressive tactics, launching a surprise attack on Morgan and Raquel before the bell. They maintained control early on, showcasing their chemistry and experience as a team. They used aggressive double team maneuvers, focusing on isolating Liv Morgan. In the second half of the match, the challengers' resilience. Morgan and Rodriguez demonstrated resilience with Rodriguez using her power to counter Belair's athleticism. Morgan's agility and quick stripes kept the champions on their toes with a well-executed double-team flapjack codebreaker combination, nearly securing the victory. Dominic Mysterio's interference played a pivotal role in the match's outcome, who distracted the referee, allowing Morgan and Rodriguez to capitalize on several occasions. This match had a insane climactic finish. The ending to this match was high-paced with bodies flying everywhere, with Raquel sending Bianca over the announce table, Naomi diving from inside the ring outside onto Raquel, Liv trying to hit Oblivion on Naomi, and Naomi blocking it into her own move that Liv countered into a roll through pin that Naomi kicked out of, hitting a Liv with a rear end and then kicking Dom off of the apron because Dom was going to go for another distraction. But this time, Dom unfortunately fell into the ring, which made the ref go pay attention to Dom and get Dom out of the match because, of course, he's not supposed to be there. While the ref was distracted, Naomi went for a split-legged moonsault, which was halted by Raquel when she slammed Naomi's face into the top of the ring post, causing her to fall down back into the ring, allowing Liv Morgan to crawl over and pick up the pin. And now Liv and Raquel are your first ever 3-time WWE Women's Tag Team Champs. So I summarized the match. Go watch it. It was a beautiful match. It was the best Women's Tag Team Championship match I've seen in the Triple H regime for the main roster. I seen a really great one last week on NXT between Sol Ruka, Zarya, Lash Legend, and Jakar Jackson. That was a great match. But definitely one of the best main roster women's tag team matches I've seen in a while. All four of them just showcased their wrestling ability. Like, it was so high flying and high pace, and like they went into it with the goal of, hey, we're gonna steal the show. Like they putting us on last. We about to go kill it, and it was amazing. With that being said, I now see that Liv and Raquel are not going to be a part of the storyline with Jade Cargill because, like I said before, Naomi is the guilty one. We're about to find another video Friday or next Friday. Between this Friday and next Friday, we're going to get a video of Naomi was the one that took Jade Cargill out, and this is when the heel turn would start in her, whole explanation of why she did it, yada yada yada. So that means she's not winning Chamber because Jade Cargill is probably her WrestleMania opponent. Like I said before, Bianca's probably winning Chamber because that's the only person Rhea Ripley could really face. Like I said, Bayley's going to go into a thing with Roxanne because Roxanne basically got called up after NXT Vengeance Day. That was her swan song. Who else we got in there? Okay, 2, 4, boom, count it down. Alexa Bliss. I keep forgetting Alexa Bliss every time I talk about this. But yeah, Alexa Bliss just got back. I feel like she would be in like a Wyatt 6 type of match, something. I don't know where to go with that. But yeah, everybody's kind of negating each other out. So Bianca Belair is the only sole winner of that match. If they wanted to do something for shock value, I mean, they could go Naomi. And then it's the opposite. Like, Bianca was the one that took out Jade. Either way, one of them two is either one of those two. But with that being said, this episode of Raw was really, really, really good. My only gripe, I feel like the pacing was a little weird. Some of the people's interests were cut. Like, on the US version, we have ads. So when they came back, it's like they're halfway to the ring or they're in the ring already. When I watch wrestling, I'm a fan of seeing everybody's entrance and watching them walk down to the ring. Like when I do my vlog form content, I like to catch the wrestlers coming down to the ring, coming into the ring, the whole 9 yards, because that's just what I like. So those being cut out a little bit, I was just like, all right, like damn, like Pete Dunne's entrance got clipped, Dakota Kai's entrance I think got clipped. I think Liv Morgan's and Raquel's got kind of clipped. So, I mean, that's something small. That's something so small. Like, I can't be mad at the pacing of the show. It's just a personal preference thing. But overall, show was beautiful. Excited to see what happens Friday now, the day before the Elimination Chamber. Because I know we're going to get probably something from Damian Priest. Probably get another promo. Cena might show up on SmackDown. I don't know. More than likely, Cena's going to show up on SmackDown. So yeah, we'll have that's me speculating, but SmackDown's definitely something to look forward to this week. We still got the Solo Sikoa bloodline thing going on because Jacob did super kick him last Friday. So they're definitely going to speak on that this week. So that's going to be something to look into. The Mellow Don't Miss thing is something I don't want to look into, but we're probably going to look into it again. We also do have Shinsuke versus LA Knight. Please, for the love of God, let LA Knight win the title back because Shinsuke's run was dog shit. I'm sorry for cursing, but it sucked. They did it for no reason. Literally, they only did it so when he went over to Japan, he had a belt on him, and they could have just took it back off him afterwards. But I think he's had 2 defenses. He literally had the Logan Paul schedule again. Like, LA Knight got the belt and tried to bring it back to prestige, and then you handed it back off to somebody that is a mysterious, spooky, wookie ninja samurai. No disrespect. I love Shinsuke pre him being washed. I think he mentally checked out now. I think he's just there for the check. Nope. Hey, more power to him. Like, hey, you've been wrestling shit, I don't know, 20, 25 years. Kick back, kick your feet up, get your paper, but take the belt off of him. But with that being said, this is another episode of the TWV Monday Night Raw recap and review. I will catch you tomorrow for NXT. Peace.